Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Half Past Dead Paranormal Radio, the Paranormal and Strange. We are brought to you live on WCJV Digital Broadcasting out of Youngstown, New York. I'm your host, Roger Belt, and my partner, Mr. Hank Stratton. Say hello, Hank.
Hello, Hank.
I knew you was going to do that, Santa Claus.
Well, if nothing else, I do follow through with what I've been told. You told me to say hello, Hank. No, you said hi. What? Hi, Hank.
Okay, that's a good one.
Hey, no one said I had to have a level of insanity. It just comes natural.
Well, a level of humor kind of helps too, but
Well, that's what makes us paranormal investigators.
Of course, if we were sane, we wouldn't be doing that.
Well, that's why we're paranormal.
There you go. Okay, we're going to be talking about some way out there kind of stuff called the planes of existence. And I'd heard about all that stuff, but I never really paid a lot of attention to it. But lately, reading some of this stuff is like stereo instructions, people. And I still can't build a ham radio out of it, but anyway. I'm going to let Hank get in here and tell us a little bit about it because I have absolutely no clue what it all pertains to. You have dealt with some of this stuff, I'm sure, or did a little more research on it than I have.
Well, only from the standpoint of trying to explain where shadow people come from, and to answer Toby's question. Okay, if you Apollo. Yes, if you Apollo that launch mission, if you follow the Rosicrucian
idea.
Okay, I had an idea. I was going to get into a lot of explanation. Rosicrucian. Okay, now Rosicrucian basically is, and you're going to love this, is basically a Christianized idea of mysticism. Basically, not only, hold on, not only does it go back to Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon.
I've heard that name. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And there is a whole, I mean, you could get into a whole dissertation with this. This is where it started back in back about 1633. Now, according to the research, an alchemist named John Baptist van Helmont.
Thank you. That's where I was going to get to.
Well, see, you got me going on this, and it doesn't take much to get me started, but once you do, it's going to be like crazy to get me stopping. Okay.
Now, is he not, he's an alchemist, or was?
He is a Rosicrucian alchemist.
He came up with this stuff to, for a lack of better words, encrypt what he was doing so that people who weren't into the alchemy thing would not know what the heck was going on.
No, not entirely true. Okay? Aside from the fact that the Rosicrucians basically were a secret society founded by in medieval Germany, a Christian Rosenkreuz. It was a basic philosophy that not only involved the Protestants, basically Lutheranism in particular. Okay? This is where I say it has a basis in Christian mysticism, and it definitely opposed the Roman Catholicism.
From what I've been told, there up to 9 could be a very old group.
That's where I was trying to get into, answering Toby's question. The basis for most, 7 major divisions. Now, as I've gone through, hold on, let me get this out before something really goes wigging out on us. Okay. As I'm going through my research, there is one system, I believe, it also involves Sufism, where there are 31 planes.
Yeah, I got a little tidbit on that too.
Now, as I understand that, if you go through the idea that, according to my Kabbalistic background, and I've gotten into that as well here in my research, there is, for every 7 planes, there are 7 subplanes.
Okay, now tell me about how a plane is formed by an atom.
By getting into a level of apparent quantum physics that I'm not qualified to answer. So, esoterically, I will answer as everyone has a level of vibration, and being physical has the heaviest vibration, Whereas, now I'm following the 7 planes of existence from the Leadbeater chart. I've always heard it pronounced Leadbeater.
See, I don't have any of that, so I can't
as I'm looking, the solid, the liquid, and the gaseous are under the heading of a physical body, something you can touch. Now, when you get into etheric and super etheric, you get what is referred to as a etheric double. Now, I can't see what's being brought up in the chat room right now. Meet and greet is the first one. Yes. Repent. All right. 10,000 comedians out of work.
Cleansing is another one. Come on now. Hey, we're reaching out here into Neverland, and I'm looking for Peter Pan here.
Yeah, with your luck, you're going to find Captain Hook. But anyway, moving right along. Yeah, I know. I'd much rather find Tinkerbell and the rest of her friends, but that's beside the point. So what we're looking at, if you have read the Mayan prophecies, all right, now that's not, no, the celestial prophecies, thank you. The celestial prophecies. If you have read that, what you've gone through is an understanding of the 10 levels of consciousness. Now, 10 levels of consciousness. As you increase the vibration and become more harmonious with the physical world around you, as well as the psychic world around you, you start developing
the second world around you, like Earth has 5 bodies or worlds.
You're getting the idea. You're getting the idea. These are areas that all I can say is, honestly, I've studied. Am I an expert in it? Oh, God, no. But I do the best that I can and try to...
And these are composed of 5 types of matter: casual, mental, emotional, etheric, and physical.
Now, depending on who you follow. Okay? If you follow the Wiccan philosophy, you have earth, fire, air, water, spirit.
Right.
If you follow the Chinese, and if I remember correctly, you have some incorporate wood and metal into that.
And see, I got to stop you right there because I'm reading this as we speak, and it says, and I totally disagree with this. The Earth is the only planet in the solar system that is, has been, or ever will be home to physical life.
Wrong answer.
That's what it says right here.
I agree with you. Wrong answer.
You know, if you believe in extraterrestrials, which I do, that tells me that there's physical life on other planets besides this one.
Okay, we're a little off of the subject, but we're still
Just using that for an example.
No. You are still hitting the heart of what's going on. Okay? We're not talking so much now of planes of reality, planes of existence. Now we're incorporating what is real. I mean, scientific, forget scientific. Okay? Look at it.
I don't see a scientific
Roger.
in any of this.
Yeah, well, actually, there is. But that's another philosophy that we can set aside for a later time. What I'm getting at is that mathematically, the probability out of billions upon billions that we are the only conscious, ascendant life form in the entire level of reality, that is pretty arrogant.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
And I know for a fact our galactic brothers and sisters are watching out for us. And we've got some that are not so friendly.
Yes, exactly. But the
Now,
point is, when somebody presents something like this, and they're, I don't know if they're calling themselves scientific or what they're calling themselves, but you know, to even say something like that puts them into a godly state, to use a lack of better words. They think they know, you know, that we're the only sentient, technical, intelligent beings in the solar system and the galaxies, and the, you know, that this planet is the only one that has intelligent life. Well, come on now. That would put us as a being into the part that you just said.
I'm trying, I'm trying to say something and I can't spell terrestrial.
Trust me, I know what you're saying.
We are. Okay. Now, it's a feeling. It's based on fact, from study and understanding. From Van Donegan, from he passed away not long ago.
Well, Toby was
Cosmos,
about,
the guy from the Cosmos.
Toby's saying that who's to say we did not come from there. I was into something earlier, and I was watching a video where it's talking about, you know, our life could have came from Mars, or Mars' life could have came from us, and back and forth, and blah blah blah. And
Battlestar Galactica, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of actual sense to that. I mean, who's to say that our life didn't come from, somewhere else? It did. It had to did. Anyway,
if you look at the names that I've mentioned, like I said, the gentleman that actually started Cosmos, God, I can't think of his name to save my life right now. And if you look at Hawkins, and if you look at the different scientists, life did begin out there,
yes.
regardless of the form. Okay? And as we look at the idea life began out there, yes, we are still made of star stuff. So again, we get back to increasing our vibration to reach through these different levels. Now,
so is that to say we're trying to get back to where we came from?
In a manner of speaking, yes. Will we succeed? Yes. That's the simplest way I can answer that. But then again, that is my belief. Now, can I prove it? I may live to be 200 or another 200 years, since I'm 58 now. I may never be able to prove what I'm saying now, because I'm not going to have the money. I'm not going to have the ability to make a warp speed. And then again, who knows? I might. I don't know. Right now, I don't have the concept of it. And yes, Toby, if we don't destroy ourselves first.
And that's the key thing right there.
There is another philosophy, since we're on the subject of these planes of reality, or these planes of existence. If you, again, citing the celestial prophecies, when towards the end, as they approach the 9th and 10th levels of consciousness, they actually had vibrated, raised their spiritual vibration to a level that they, as the story goes, and it is food for thought, they had separated themselves from this world and were having communion with the Mayans.
In other words, they were on that hippie bus with the LSD and
without the LSD, yeah. This was all natural. Okay. Now, again, back to the levels of existence. There was a philosophy going around back in the 90s, about the same time as the various New World maps were coming out, as these ideas of separate worlds. An ascended master had passed on to others that, and this was the story, I see a basis for it, those who no longer wanted to be part of the physical world, the world where all the wars and people not learning how to increase their spiritual vibration, would be separated. We would have two different worlds. One where the vibration was high, people were into people and their surroundings. And then the other world where, okay, they were just still the low-witted and angry and warring. They stayed on the old world. Now, that's an idea I could live with, really.
Yes, if you could prove that it actually exists.
Well, and again, we're getting into theories. Again, we're getting into ideas. The hypothesis says it is possible. But a hypothesis is the beginning. Okay? And when you can prove a hypothesis, then you have a theory. And when you can prove a theory, then you have scientific fact.
Thank you. Now, going back to where you started. Okay.
I have all kinds of places where I started.
I'm getting back to, the world as different levels, like, something that you can actually put into perspective that you can deal with. Like gas, you can't touch it, but you can smell it. Well, really, there's no smell to it, but you know that gas exists. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, water. Everybody knows water exists, air exists, fire exists.
These are physical elements.
But now, when you start getting into 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 15 or 20 or 1,300 different levels above that, I'm not from Missouri, but I've been there, so you got to show me how this stuff, where this stuff exists. How can I touch it, smell it, feel it, hear it, see it? Because I can't put my finger on it.
Okay. If you look, it should be loading. It should be there. If you look in your Skype messaging, I did manage to get you that a copy of that Ledbetter's.
Okay. And
well, then, as you see it, as you download it and bring it into your into your documents, you'll be able to expand on that and see what's going on of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but see, the same thing still enters my mind here. This guy drew up a chart, and this is how they all come about. But where did he get his information? Did he go there?
Do you want me to answer that? I have.
So you've been on all these different planes?
Not all of them. I am not. I'll be point blank honest with you. I'm not as spiritual as I am. I'm not that spiritual.
Okay, and when I say these things, I'm not trying to trample on anybody's beliefs. I'm just saying, as for me, I've got to have something that I can put my hands on, or smell, see, touch, feel. Something that I can say, yeah, this exists because I've dealt with it.
Now, please, Roger, I've known you for a while. Don't take what I say wrong, okay? Okay? Having the freedom to be able to explore other ideas, other philosophies, allowed me to get into that sort of thing. Into that sort of philosophy and idea. Now, can anybody do it? Yes, I believe they can. But is it done overnight? No, it's not done overnight. Yes, we're getting into various other philosophies of not only of reality, but of religion.
Well, see,
now let me rephrase that. Levels of faith. Religion's a label.
Okay, faith.
Faith is action.
That's
faith is action.
There we go. Like faith in a God you can't see. Or
Odin.
I was having a conversation about this stuff earlier today, and an example that I use between the two is like being paranormal investigators. We hunt for spirits. Most people don't believe in them. But you do, or you can produce evidence to back up the fact that they do exist. Uh, Pictures, EVPs, some video evidence, even like physical, some people have physical experiences. I've yet to have one touch me or anything like that, but I've been open for that. But the point is there's something there that you can validate with scientific equipment. Now, show me the piece of scientific equipment that's going to validate these planes of existence.
We do it all the time. We do it with our EVPs. We do it with our digital voice recorders. We do it with our video cameras. Now, I can tell you things that I've done that you'll swear I was on some sort of acid trip. And I'll be point blank honest with you. I've never done anything worse than a tie stick. A lot of grass.
Oh, okay.
A lot of grass. Tie stick is, a little opium in with the marijuana.
Yeah. It took me a second.
That's back when I was young and stupid.
Well, now, many, many moons ago, I tried a little bit of the microdot acid and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been on one of them little trips before. Do I mind saying that? No, I don't, because that's a piece of my past, and better to not forget it and just know I don't want to do it again.
Know where you come from and learn from it. Okay? Learn where you come from.
And trust me, I think back then I was probably on about 20 or 30 of them planes.
But getting back to what I was saying, others have heard of the Ashtar Command. Ashtar Command has had supposedly stories of what was his name? And I don't mean the Norse god Thor, but someone had come through with the name Thor, and supposedly the Area 51 theorists have documentation how Thor had met with Eisenhower.
Okay.
And had guided, hey, dude, you know as well as I do, there's been all kinds of theories that terrestrials have met with various government leaders.
Yes.
Okay.
Thor, come on. Did he have his hammer with him?
Like I said, it was not my Norse god Thor. I clarified that before I started that.
I just had to say that.
I know. I repeat, 10,000 comedians out of work. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I had seen and been to what is known as Ashtar Command. I was in a deep meditative state, and I had projected there. I met with them. How long? That's an interesting question. But I will say what I did learn is that they're, you see the badge that I have in my chat room. You're listening to WCJV Digital Broadcasting out of Youngstown, New York. You see my symbol and CJ's symbol. It's basically kind of a Star Trek.
Right.
All I can tell you is their symbol is similar to that. No, I was stone cold sober in a deep meditative state.
In their starship and.
No,
hey, On the spirit
Harsh.
level, is being a
On.
single considered the top of the helm level? CJ, Toby said that.
I don't know if he's talking about the Elohim level, or angels. Angels are celestial, spiritually celestial beings, and they have levels within themselves. The most simplest way I can explain this is that there are various Christianized and levels that they're described not only in the Bible, but they're also described in the Torah from Judaism. And I've got to look that up. I don't have that information right offhand, but when they talk about choirs of angels, they're talking about a level. Now, we've discussed this before. Theories. No, not theories. The elementals, when we talk about the fairies, the leprechauns, various, those are part of the angelic orders. Supposedly, the theory on that is they did not take sides in the war of good and evil, and so they were no longer allowed in heaven. Well, if you believe the story that St. Patrick banished all the snakes from Ireland, no, Gabriel is not under Michael. Gabriel is at the same level as Michael, Raphael, and Uriel. They also are part of the quarters. No, he wasn't. No, he isn't. I'm arguing with the screen.
Okay, how can I say this and not sound
Well, look at the discussion we're
way
having.
out there? Okay.
Look at the discussion we're having. Okay.
How do I say that I believe angels could exist, but I don't believe in the whole holier than thou thing?
Well, let me put it to you this way.
You know,
okay?
that steps on a few toes.
Wait, hold on. I'm about to step on even more. Okay? You know I'm Wiccan. You know I'm pagan.
True.
Okay? Now, let me give it to you this way. Not only do the angels work very well with the Christians, but they work very well not only with my Wiccan side, but they work very well with my Norse side. Now go figure that one. And I'm not talking about Odin's daughters, the Valkyrie, which, by the way, there are 13 of, according to the Eddas. Okay? Now, if I go into my handy dandy, where have I got it? No, not in my groups. In my, let's see, astrology.
Theta says is no distinction on the angelic level. All people are the same. Well,
Bravo.
Theta, thank you very much. I do happen to believe that all people are the same and all people should be equal. And saying that steps on more toes because there are certain people that I don't appreciate what they do, but they are people. So
let them learn. I mean,
right, no distinction of religion. There you go. Thank you.
Exactly.
Well said.
Exactly. And bravo.
Very well said. Okay, but even having said all of that, it pays to understand all religions, because they all differ, and it gets down to a point of which one is right and which one ain't right. If you ask me, I don't think there's any certain specific religion that is right.
Bravo. Okay. We are all spokes in a wheel. Each
And
one is
we
leading to the
all play a
center of
part in the
enlightenment.
big
And we
picture.
are, exactly. Exactly. Now, how in the world did we get away from...
Because I was just fixing to say, getting back to planes of existence. Until I go take a flight plan on a 747 that takes me through all these different ones that I can't see, feel, touch, smell, etc., 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 I'm still not sold.
Okay. All right. As I've been doing the research, okay, now I am not exactly, yes, basically the lowest level of angels is at the 9th level. Now, all of these individuals basically have never been human. But then again, they have no need for evolving. Okay?
Well, now ask yourself, knowing the human race as you do, as I do, and everybody else does, why on earth would anything above that want to become human?
Because we are spiritual beings having human experiences. In order for us to evolve on a spiritual level, and again, we get back into those planes, okay? We have to come here and learn what it is to be human to maintain our spiritual side. Now, okay, if you follow the dear lady Sylvia Brown,
And I don't.
you're not the only one. So bear with me.
Not meaning to say anything disrespectful to the dead, but I don't.
I'm just telling you. Just there are others that do, and she does bear food for thought. Yes,
Yes, Dita, thank you.
I know. Yes, and so am I. I'm a fraud, and so is John Edwards, and so is Chip Coffey, and so is. We all have proven one way or another. The one I don't trust is Von Prague, but that's beside the point. Okay.
Don't know much about him.
Yeah.
Very little,
Anyway,
actually.
moving right along. The point that I'm getting at.
And no,
is
Hank,
that,
I was not saying that meaning that you were a fraud, but Sylvia Brown had proved herself to be a fraud on numerous occasions.
No. And again, I've proven myself a fraud in many ways. Okay? I am not necessarily the angelic being that everyone loves and knows.
Okay, but see, there is a little bit of a difference, Hank, between you and some other people that stands out because you do not claim to be perfect and know every damn thing.
There we go. But some still have. The credibility. And if you look at the grand scheme, okay?
Billy said, I'm back. I'm lost.
If you look at the grand scheme of things, no, Toby, I've worked with you too much, and others have seen your work. You are not a fraud. You are a real psychic medium. Okay? I have a level of psychic ability that I have been using, and I follow through with it. But getting back to what I'm saying, okay? And many other psychics have been saying this, mediums and such. There is a level that cannot be achieved of evolution in the spiritual plane, and that's including all the other 6 planes, because we're basically on the 7th plane, okay? The lowest plane because of the material that we are, even though we are made of star stuff, which has been proven.
One of the things that I read, and interrupting, I know, but there's one of the things that proves one of the planes that supposedly is there is the one that says that all matter of the earth is below your feet. Well, of course it is. Makes sense, you know. You stand on it. So Yeah, that one you can verify.
Okay. So again, the higher levels, the individuals that do exist there, to obtain the spiritual level that we will be obtaining when we finally finish our incarnations on this classroom. Now, whether you want to call this classroom Earth, you want to classify it as the proverbial hell, Tartarus, purgatory. This is a classroom. We learn to develop our spiritual selves in spite of all the hardships. Now, it's so easy to go ahead and just be materialistic and go through everything, and it's like mine, 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 mine. That's what maintains our spirituality, when we don't get into that sort of thing.
Okay,
So,
Billy
as
is
we
saying
finish,
here, I'm going to read this real quick. Found pictures of the planet that looks like the Earth. Here's a link for anyone, blah, blah, blah. Having said that, if there's planets that look like the Earth, and they probably are similar to the Earth, therefore they could probably bear life forms similar to the Earth, which blows that out of the water about Earth being the only planet that can provide life. Thank you.
yeah, that's something that's been finally going around for the past 10 years, and they're just actually solidifying that idea. Now, back to what I'm saying. When we finally finish, those spirits that have been waiting will be coming here to Earth, to this level of reality, to start their development. What's going to be different between us and them is the fact that they're going to be a lot smarter. They're going to be a lot more intelligent. If you watch, you're seeing we are having more music prodigies. We are having more math prodigies. They are starting to come through. Now, back to Sylvia. When this psychic, when this level of people make it to the other side, there are no more incarnations. We are done. We will be moving on. This is our last incarnation. Some I have doubts about, but hey, basically the thing is that it was generalizing. And those new spirits will come in. We don't die when we get to the other side. We have so many other levels. All that dies is this physical body. They remain here on this physical plane.
That part I can go along with.
Okay. And I cite Sylvia.
The soul is the spirit, and once the body dies, the spirit continues on.
Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be transformed. Basic laws of physics. There's your scientific proof.
That's my scientific proof that we exist past this physical body.
So they have different names. So if you want to call it Ooby Gooby, and the next level is Flamishramwap, okay, what difference does it make? It's still there.
Roger sounds far away. That sound far away?
We're having problems with the humidity and weather based on Skype. I mean, I'm using the same setup, and I've been told that I have to watch the modulation. I'm pegging needles, and I'm using the same equipment. All I can say is go figure. But anyway, getting back to our different yeah, see, even Toby's saying that I sound loud tonight, and I'm no different. Who knows what's going on? Why I'm sounding different tonight? I'm really trying not to. There are those that are saying I'm pegging needles. Thank you, Dita. I appreciate that. Anywhere. That sounds like the big bad wolf outside, Cheryl. But anyway, now, getting back to the levels of angels. Like I was saying, angels, and then you have the archangels. Okay? Then you have the principalities. And then you have the powers. And I'm sure they're not meaning the 7 virtues, but the 5th level is virtues. Shaped like sparks of light, virtues are in charge of maintaining the natural world. They inspire living things in areas such as science. Okay? Now you have dominions or dominations. It goes by either name. And then thrones. And then you have the cherubim, which is plural of cherubs. Funny how you have these little cute little dolls that you win at the fairs, and they call them cherubs, Cupid dolls. Wow. Seriously? And then the final order, the closest, as it's described, the closest to God, is the seraphim, which I find interesting as they are described as they leave their serpent appearance behind, preferring tall, thin, clean-cut human embodiments. Okay. Yeah, they're considered like fiery serpents. I have no idea who come up with these things, but wow. And like we say, if you can't be normal, by all means, it's more fun being paranormal. Look at the things that we get into that, wow. I'm going to put that in my Book of Shadows links. So I have that at hand. But anyway, now, where am I? Now, getting back to that Ledbetter chart that I sent you, Roger. We have the physical, we have the astral, we have the mental, and that's broke up into two main areas, which is referred to as rupa and arupa. Now, if we took time, and I can see why you can say we can go on with this for quite some time, going through each level. And then, like I said, you've got basically 7 levels to each level of the 7 levels.
And I still can't touch any of them.
I don't mean this to sound wrong, but I feel for you.
You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I wouldn't want to believe in all that stuff, but until I can witness it for myself, it's going to be kind of hard for me to say, yeah, it's there.
And you get back again to that one word. It's only 5 letters, but the impact is faith.
Right. And you put faith into this stuff that you can't see, feel, touch, smell, because so-and-so wrote it in a book. A little bit hard to follow.
Okay. You said something exactly to a point. Someone wrote something in a book. Okay.
And they said, because I wrote this book...
No, stop there. Okay?
Well,
because someone... No, you're taking away the thunder. Shut up a minute. Someone wrote something in a book. Let's take this, all right? You were in school. You had your math book in front of you.
Not
you
usually.
physically... Roger?
Yes. Well, you said I had my
Sit
math
up and
book
pay
in front of
attention,
me, and I
Roger.
didn't, but...
Sit up and pay attention. You
Yes,
had
Daddy.
books in front of you at one point while in school and while you did homework. Okay?
I did.
All right. So, you went through, let's just say you went through a history book. That's a perfect idea. Let's say you went through a history book. And to back up what you read, now granted, he who wins writes the history. He who has the gold writes the history also. You went to a museum of natural history. I know I did, in Ann Arbor. Okay? Not only did I go to a museum of natural history, I went to the Henry Ford Museum. If you have the money and the time, you can go to the Johnson Space Center at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, where they do tours, and you can see what's there. Why? Because you proved at some point you experienced it. Okay? Because you go through and experience, research it, physically do it yourself. That's how you gain. Look at Nikola Tesla. Okay? Yeah, I'm getting passionate about this.
Yeah, Tesla, though, was a brilliant person.
You're missing the point. He followed through basic theories, ideas of what he learned, and brought them forward. Okay? Henry Ford, same thing. Now, since we're talking about levels of planes of existence, again, you know, I'm making no bones about who and what I am. You know what I am. I didn't do this overnight. I didn't gain this knowledge by just reading one book. I went through several books, proved to myself what worked, what didn't work. I have that I kept because they worked. They taught me something that I was able to apply. Okay? I have 12 books not only teaching me the Norse runes, the Elder Futhark, but the sagas that went with them. Okay? I have 2 books that I keep as lessons of what not to do. And they were they basically were supported by a druid who I respect, because I went through them and I studied them and then researched his claims, the author's claims. The 21 Lessons of Merlin. Dude was on a bad acid trip. That's all I can tell you. And I keep those books for the sole purpose of what not to follow and how to recognize what not to follow. So until, and I'm not passing judgment, I'm not being mean. So until you actually sit down, study, put into practice what you study, you're not going to have a foundation of what to believe in and what not to believe in. And I'm not passing judgment on that. I'm stating an observation. And we've got about 4 minutes before break. So.
Okay, well, I spent a whole lifetime studying a book, and
You said a book. You said
a book.
Wrong answer.
Anyhow, point is, it is so because somebody wrote it in a book. So if I write a book and say that I went to Jupiter and met some people there, because I wrote that in a book, that's the daggum truth. That's how it is.
In your mind, yes. However,
well, from what I read and some of this stuff, I wouldn't want to be in these people's mind. They're on a hell of an LSD trip.
So again, what I said was wrong answer. You said one book. I have gone through many. Kicked out a lot of them. Kept a few. Practice.
What's all this talk about bats?
Talking about steamed chicken. Catch up with what's being said.
More boys, less fat. Okay.
He had steamed chicken, and she's saying, why? And she said, roasted. And I said, less fat, more moisture. Toby said less fat. I said less fat. The body needs fat. That's why I eat bacon in the morning. Aside from everything else we're doing tonight.
I thought we ate bacon because it was so good. But
it's meat candy. It's meat candy. What can I say? Especially if it's cured in maple.
Cheryl said my body has fat. Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do it so I can get my knees fixed. Anyway. No, because you work yours off, Dita. Yeah, no wonder it's not a bad thing. No, you worked yours off already.
Well, I'd work mine off if my leg would let me, but right now it's still not wanting to let me. So.
Okay. So anyway, yes, we've got less than a minute. So we are going to get ready to go into break, and I'm sure I'm going to be hearing the magic words, how long the break is going to be. And since we only have a few seconds, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, well, I try to be
good because I need to refresh my coffee cup.
So anyway, you're listening
to says so I can go pee.
You're listening to WCJ. Okay.
You're listening to WCJV Digital Broadcasting out of Youngstown, New York. Folks, we're going to take a little break, about 3 minutes. We will be back. Don't go away.
You are listening to WCJV Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, New York.
Hey everybody, we are back and we are talking about jujubes, pumpkins and cookies and all kind of other interesting, fun-loving stuff
That's not necessarily paranormal, but that's
and
okay too.
the
It's
and the
good.
planes of
It's
existence. Okay,
good. Dummy. Anyway,
so back once again, and as I said before, not to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to put down anybody's beliefs. I wouldn't want nobody putting down my beliefs. And I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying until I experience it, I'm not going to say I believe in it. I'm not going to say, well, I put my faith in the fact that there's about 500 planes of existence out there. You look at one, it says 31, one says 49, one says this, that, and the other thing. Uh, Other people believe in that. They claim they've been there, done that. That's fine for them. I'm not, like I said, not trying to step on anybody's toes, just stating how I see it. Having said this, 2 Thanksgivings, Canadian was in October. Well, that's kind of off the mark, but
no, it's still part of the munchies.
Cheryl's remark on munchies. Hey, I love munchies now. You got to do 2 or 3 Thanksgivings, okay? You eat yours, then you go eat somebody else's, and then you go eat somebody else's, because you're going to have a little something different in every one you go to. So you get this whole mix of tantalizing stuff, you know.
Okay, let's look at something, Roger. Okay, let's look at something, and we're going to be logical about this. Oh God, yeah, it's a contradiction in terms. I said logical. Yeah, that's a contradiction. You are a paranormal investigator. Yes?
True. And I can verify what I'm talking about.
Stop. Hold on. We'll get into that. You have encountered ghosts / spirits in various locations.
True.
You have experience. I'm leading up to something.
Yeah, and I think I get where you're going.
Okay. How do you explain that to, let's forget a skeptic, a non-believer? You are out of your, or worse yet, someone who believes you are going against the basic principles of a dominant religion.
That's a good point. But then again, as I say, okay, but you can put physical proof out there. Okay, EVPs. You can put physical EVPs out there that prove that you are getting voices from something that is not of the living. Or
I have to refresh my chat room screen.
Okay, or who's to say that it's not of the living, but from somewhere out there? Okay. Point of it being is that you can prove you have something to verify. I have nothing to verify all these planes of existence.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Except somebody wrote it in a book.
I'm sorry. When I refreshed the chat room, I didn't mute the recording. And I'm over here like, wait a minute, Roger just said that.
Having said that, hello, Johnny.
Yeah, that's what started me having to do my refreshing screen. But anyway, yes, we have this idea because we've proven not only to ourselves, but we have evidence. So, What do we have evidence of? A higher level of the physical plane. Now, when we talk about going out on an investigation and how well we're protected is based on our etheric shield. Now, we're still in the physical level here. We're not even into the astral yet. Okay? So to explain the etheric shield, look at all this talk about auras around a person. The beautiful colors that the spiritual energy projects or doesn't project depending on the level of their spirituality. The higher the color, the higher vibration. Outside of that etheric shield, or outside of that aura, is a shield that protects from, I don't want to say negative entities because that's too broad, but yes, some negative energies. Now, in studies, and I have seen it personally, people with various addictions. Yes, let your mind play with that as it will. Okay? Because that is such a broad term.
Yes, it is.
They have...
Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello?
Caller?
Caller, you're on the air.
Oh, well,
hey.
they'll be coming back. So, when we look at... And I hate to poke fingers at anybody, but even something like cigarettes.
Billy's got a computer gnome crashing his computer over there.
No. It's not a computer gnome. It's a computer gremlin.
Oh, gremlin.
God, I wish you people
would
would get that.
Yeah.
I wish you people would get that stuff straight.
There's something out there on the wing. Something. Yeah, okay.
Yes, William Shatner.
No, that was actually Pet Detective, but...
Okay. Now, before I get somebody upset with me, smokers are not bad people.
No, I smoke. I'm not a bad people.
I used to smoke. I don't know more. But it does change not only does it change your aura, but it does work on your etheric shield. And naturally, the worst things you can be addicted to are going to do the damage more. And then you're allowed to be opened. You allow an opening of yourself to various other extremely negative energies. Strike that. Negative entities. Now, why do good things happen? Why do bad things happen to good people? You know, I've never understood that when you look at the people that have gone through the Amityville Horror, when you look at the poor lady that went through in the film documentary, The Entity. Okay, all these stories about people being possessed. Because their karma is going to catch up to them, Cheryl. Why do good things happen to bad people? Because their karma is going to catch up to them. Either way.
Touchy.
No. That's pronounced touche.
Oh. Okay, touchy, touche.
Yes, touche. Touche is basically a fencing term when you make a point strike back at your opponent. They've done one, you've got them back type thing.
Okay, so basically, your karma from past lives are coming up and smacking you in the face even though you're a good person in this life.
And for the longest time, I'm going along with what you're saying, and for the longest time, I wrestled with the idea, why am I being punished for something I didn't do from a past life? Because you're cleaning up. Hence the idea of your last go-round, your last incarnation. You have been cleaning up.
So
you have been setting straight.
You have to take your mental bath, in other words.
More or less, yes. More or less. I'm trying to find another way of putting that.
Your subconscious bath, so to speak.
No, not your subconscious. Okay? Like Cheryl has put in, you learned a lesson. You're not repeating the lesson. Perfect example.
Yes.
I could not figure out why I kept getting with abusive women. Because I'm a recovering codependent.
Okay, that's the same way I feel like, I was bullied as a kid, maybe because I was a bully in a past life.
Yes. Or you just stood by and let something happen. Or you may even have been the cause of something happen. So now you're getting your bite in the butt back.
Thank you. Yeah, that I can go along with.
Okay.
Now, see, and I'm going to throw out an example here, and it's going to be way out on a limb, but still.
Well, so was Shirley MacLaine, but okay.
I have this fascinating draw to ancient Mayan history. Okay.
Okay.
Like I was there.
Okay.
Now, you know what the Mayans did. Their human sacrifices, and on and on and on and on.
Which is not too different from the Egyptian.
Okay, but my point is, if I was there and I participated in these rituals,
excuse me,
that may have been my karma coming back to pay me back.
Well, let's look at this from another standpoint. Okay? You were either Mayan and you were doing these negative things. Based on your belief system, you were being a good person. Okay? Or you were a Spaniard that came in.
Right. And wiped out the Aztecs and all that.
Now,
because the Mayans were gone before the Spaniards came in and did their thing mostly.
Well, then there were the Incans, but anyway.
Aztecs, they wiped out.
Right, because the Mayans were the last. But anyway, Toby's asking, past lives be a part of the plane's basis. I have once or twice been to the Akashic records. So in that, but I've only was able to see my Akashic record.
Okay, Data says you were living within the accepted lifestyle, you would not be punished for that. That, in my mind, would depend on your frame of mind when you were doing what you were doing. Now, they believed that they were appeasing the gods in order to have bountiful crops, etc., etc.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I can see that.
Now,
but
let's go ahead.
They were still cruel and inhumane acts to another living being, so the powers that be may not appreciate that.
But that was their belief system, and they didn't know any other way. You see where that's going?
Well,
the level of morality we've learned has been, how do I put this in a politically correct way? The moralities that we have learned have come from a dominant belief system imposing its values. Now, at some point, if I remember my history correctly, they were learning to come out of that. Okay? Now, based on what you're saying, all right, using me as an example, if I had my rathers, I would be eating Hunan or Sichuan. I'm not Chinese. But that is a past life recognition.
Billy says, how do I know what I did in my past life? You'd have to be regressed back to find out.
Well, hold on. When you chose the word have to be regressed, someone can, on the other hand, someone can help guide you who is a spiritualist and guide you into that. I have myself done this. I have also
Whose face
seen...
changed?
I have no idea. No,
Cheryl said, no, his face changed. Whose face changed?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I have no idea. Anyway.
Oh, okay, I got it. She was talking about the boss that she had that she felt uncomfortable around until she saw him as a Roman gladiator.
Ah, okay. I thought she was talking about she had seen someone as a Roman gladiator. Yes, it's quite possible. You have fought him in a previous life, and now you're dealing with whether or not you return the favor, or the aggressions that you would be going through. Instead, you help someone understand who they are, and you work with them or work away from them. Now, Hank, can it help understand your past life's hurts, or help out understanding the different planes?
So he fired me.
In a way, yes. What I have done, the more I have experienced the spiritual planes, yes, I still have an aggressive nature. I'm willing to defend what is mine, but I also have a live and let live philosophy, because I have seen past lives and understood what's been happening. I have seen where I was a Norseman 2 lifetimes. I've also seen where I was a First People shaman twice, 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. So that explains a lot of where my healing abilities come. Now, and Roger, you're going to appreciate this. Why am I don't want to say I'm obsessed, but I am qualified to help spirits cross over, or at least help them find peace. Because in order for me to be the warrior that I was when I was in the Army, and I was not allowed to participate in any wars, is the fact that I have created a lot of ghosts from previous lifetimes. If that makes any sense.
Okay, and yes, I could possibly see that. in past lives, and as far, I could have been a Mayan warrior for that matter. I wouldn't have had to been involved in the ritual stuff.
Okay, Roger. That may have been the most influential, but you weren't just a Mayan. Okay? You weren't just Mayan. I can count at least 12 different lifetimes. Two of them was a witch, and I was burnt at the stake, which is one of the reasons why I have my asthma. I won't let that one go. I may have done something that I really may have deserved that. If that makes any sense.
Hey, paybacks.
Jim, well, being a medic, we learned one philosophy. Paybacks are a medevac.
Now, question about that.
It broke the mold.
Question about that.
Which part?
If in some of these past lives you were creating ghosts, maybe your life as a medic here was
again making amends,
repenting for the ghost you created by saving other people from being a ghost.
Yes, I believe that wholeheartedly.
Okay, see, that would make a little sense.
But see, when Desert Storm became Desert Shield, or was it Desert Shield that became Desert Storm? Either way, I had mustered back into the National Guard unit. I was a medic. I was an E5. I was trying to get back in, and I got caught with my asthma. And I did not get to finish the physical to muster back in. I've had many vets tell me, count your lucky stars. And again, I fully believe Odin has other plans for me. I may be one of the warriors for Ragnarok. I don't know.
For who know what?
Oh, God. Okay. Odin, All-Father. Ragnarok is basically the equivalent of a Christian's Armageddon.
Oh, okay.
Whereas, opposed to the idea of...
Don't do the "oh God, and how stupid are you" thing, because I don't know all this stuff.
No. I didn't do that. I didn't do it that way. I did it with the fact that I should have realized I would have had to explain that.
Okay,
my
that's
level of experience is not yours, just as yours is not mine.
Okay, I am, and I will explain this so everybody understands. I am a country boy with not a whole lot of smart. Okay, common sense, yes, I have abundance of that, but book smarts, no, I don't. There's a lot of stuff I don't know.
You have what is called horse sense.
Thank you. Yes, horse sense.
Okay. See, I'm country too. Power failure. Oh, Dita, we're sorry to hear that, honey.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's okay over there. Ooh, Cheryl too. Hope everything's okay with you guys, girls.
Oh, a windstorm. Oh, God. Yeah, I saw that on Wither.com. Oh, good Lord.
Hey, that's probably why Skype was wreaking havoc with me this morning, because we had high winds and stuff here.
Well, look at what Youngstown, New York, where
right.
broadcast.
Yeah. Well,
they're what I saw. They're having problems too, weather-wise.
Yeah, winds, high winds and stuff. Yeah.
Uh-huh. But be that as it may, I am my neck of the woods, Michigan. Oh, another Michiganer. Ooh, cool. Anyway, we were no, our experiences are different, and I should have stopped and thought what was going on and answered you before
Okay, see, I know minimum stuff about Odin and Thor and Valhalla and all that stuff.
Well,
so, you would have to explain to me basically what you're talking about and then explain to me where you're going with it.
Hey, I'm from Northville, Madison Heights. Northville, Plymouth area? Yeah. Madison Heights. Cool. Anyway, moving right along. Now, let me throw something else at you. All right.
No, please don't.
Not only do I follow my Norse roots, but I also follow my Celtic. And that gets into a whole new bag of worms. And then
okay, wait. Explain to me the difference between the Norse and the Celtic. I thought they were kind of similar, the same.
No, oh, good Lord. No. Okay, the Norse. While the philosophies and ideals were the same, you're looking at different regions. Okay? The Celts, even though they were a philosophy they were a race of warriors, nevertheless, no matter what they say about the Druids, okay, they were a lot more peaceful. They weren't living life as hard, okay, as the people in Denmark and Sweden, Norway, because the summers were short, okay, and it was a hard life. And have I lost Roger? Anyway, moving right along.
I'm here.
So the Celts covered a lot more of an area of middle to southern Europe until Rome got into the act, and which is how the legions became so strong and powerful, because everybody doing the alignments, because one tribe was thinking, well, I'll fix you. I'll align with Rome, and I'll be strong enough to beat you. And basically, that's how it happened.
Okay, so the Celts and the Druids, how did they all come together? Okay, we're live on WCJV Digital Broadcasting out of Youngstown, New York. And as I was saying...
Yeah, I was just going to say, what was you saying?
The Celts and the Druids. See, there's so many of these different cultures that all, to me, sound like they came out of one big pot.
And I'm fighting that. I am fighting the idea that they were one at one time and then split off, just as they believe.
Just like the Christians, they split off into all the different churches.
Well, we know what happened there. Okay, we know what happened there.
Well,
but just as it's believed, Japan has a similar history with China, that at one time it is thought they were the same.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you get into the Celts and Druids, Druids were the spiritual leaders, the philosophers, the spiritual leaders, the lawgivers of the Celts. Okay? Cricket chirp, cricket chirp. Roger, you there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
I was thinking on a different thought there for a minute, but
Okay. So is that...
I
is
guess
that,
what I was thinking of is like, you know how you have the Celtic crosses and stuff, but you also have Druid crosses that are similar.
No, 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 no. A Celtic cross is the same thing as a fairy cross. The reason that the circle is in it is that because they thought fairies were evil, the Celtic cross is the circle with the crucifix to protect the dead from the fairies.
Oh, okay. Well, see, like I said, there's a lot I don't know about all that stuff.
Yeah,
And
like I said, which I thought was a crock, but
now, when you have the Druid crosses and stuff, there's some of them, like I said, are kind of similar, but the meanings are probably different, I'm sure.
there is no Druid cross.
There's not a Druid cross, not at all. Then, okay, some of the stuff I've seen was by somebody who didn't know what they were talking about.
Just as I had this idea that even though Druids were peacekeepers between the tribes, they could travel between the tribes, so they did not have weapons, I found out that that was not true. I won't say there was a warrior class of Druids, but yeah. Now, who can explain the levels better? I question you as to what levels. What levels are you talking about? Basic tool for navigation. Are you talking who can explain it better as in a Wiccan? A priest? A druid? What are you... I don't understand. I understand your question.
What the... Okay, typo fairies, Toby?
Yeah, he's having a...
Rented your fingers out again, didn't you?
Yeah, hey, at least he's not doing rented lips this time. Dita's favorite. It depends on... Yeah, he says anyone, i.e. religion, physics... Physics. Since we're dealing with the levels of planes of existence and spirituality, you know, it's going to depend on who you have more faith in.
One-handed. What? Oh, you eating with the other hand, or
don't go in there? Don't go there.
You eating that chicken with the other hand?
Oh, okay. Eating the chicken with the other hand.
No, Hank. My mind wasn't in that frame.
Too much information.
Yes. But he had that steamed chicken. Remember, I figured he was busy with the other hand eating steamed chicken and.
Well, unless he's eating it with his fingers, that would be both hands. A fork and a knife. You know?
A fork, yes, you know.
Well, I don't know. I get some chicken boobs that are just nice size, and you cannot cut them with just a fork.
Right.
Yes, I went there. Chicken boobs.
Doing dessert now, he said. Okay, see, so his other hand's busy eating dessert, so now we know what's going on.
What did I do to tickle Dita? Oh, stop. Now dessert. I'm heartbroken.
Stop it, Toby, stop it. Stop eating that dessert.
Hey, I'm the one that you... Jeez. I feel so unappreciated now.
Fight with both hands and just dip your head down and eat off your plate like a pig in a trough, you know. That way you can have both hands free to keep from doing the typo fairies.
I am a perfect, according to Dita now, he's being bad.
That's how you get sticky keys.
And well, sticky keys. Basically, I am a perfect angel of mischief.
Yeah, that'd be me.
The other half is eaten with a dog.
Not with a dog, like a dog.
Like a dog. You know, I got to get the glasses readjusted. But anyway.
And then, after having said all the wonderful stuff we've talked about and a lot of very interesting things, I still don't have my proof all those planes have existed yet.
And now, how do I put this in a nice way? You won't until you... Fingers were invented first, Dita. Come on, how barbaric. Anyway.
So I got ice cream running down my face.
God, pie a la mode? Anyway.
Yeah. Like Weird Al. I have one more. Gonna need my own zip code.
Until you actually study more than one person and put into practice. And given your location, I understand your apprehension.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, I'm right smack dab in the middle of it.
I'm not casting dispersions. Okay. However, when I was in South Carolina, when I was in North Carolina, I was still practicing my Kabbalism, and it's really kind of hard to explain people how I believe one thing and still practice everybody else's ideals and still be open-minded to it. Okay? So that's why I can make no bones about, I'm pagan. But I've had too many people. And when I say too many, I mean like more than 20 tell me that I act more Christian than Christians they know. That's not an ego. That's not an ego. I'm just treating people the way I want to be treated.
Then again, Christian is a name, a word. Just because somebody says they're a Christian don't mean they're like the Santa Claus standing on the corner ringing the bell collecting money for the poor.
I may look like Santa Claus, but I'm not necessarily Santa Claus, but you ask the grandkids?
But you get my drift.
Yes, that's exactly... I'm making the similarity. And yes, because pagan is a nature-based. Wicca is just a branch of that.
I mean, trust me, I have met Christians that I would rather not ever see again in my lifetime.
Amen, brother.
So, that's just a name. If you truly practice what that name is supposed to stand for, then I expect a whole lot more out of you. On the good side of things, so to speak.
Yes. And like I said, it's interesting. I base my philosophies. Okay, now this is going to be a real mind bender for you there, buddy. You know that I practice Norse magic. You know I practice Celtic Druidism. Okay? You know I practice Wiccan. Okay? I also practice shamanism. Now, between the Wiccan, the shamanism, and the Druidism, you know what the real difference is?
No.
Region. The region. And it's as simple as that. It's
Well,
region.
different regions, a little bit different ways of looking at things.
Bravo! You made the connection.
Just like the area I'm located in. You know, we are.
Yeah, we are the world.
Everybody knows that where I'm located is right smack dab in the middle of the Bible Belt, so that's what you expect from everybody here. Or that's what most people would expect from everybody here. Me, on the other hand, I fell off the apple cart a little while back and bumped my head, and I forgot a lot of that stuff. So I'm not your typical West Tennessee Bible Belt extremist.
And basically, bravo. As long as you have a level of understanding, open-mindedness, and actually understand that other people have other ideas that may not necessarily be the same as yours, you're finding a true level of spirituality.
Well, I'm looking at all the other possible answers besides the ones that's been drilled into me since I was a wee lad.
And sometimes we have to overcome our history. Are you kidding me? Oh, my. I was brought up... Yeah, I know, Toby, you got something to throw at us, and I'm waiting for it. I was raised, okay? I was raised Baptist Lutheran. Not Baptist Lutheran, but Baptist and then Lutheran. And then I found this New Testament church, Church of Christ. Okay? I did not become Wiccan straight out the gate. But trust me, I had learned a lot of lessons. A lot of philosophies hold true. A lot of them I let fall by the wayside because this is going to be kind of counterintuitive to some people, but I grew up and found other ways. I'm happy with who I am. And because I'm happy with who I am, I can be happy with who you are. And I've got something else to throw at you. Okay? I've got something else to throw at you. I'm ordained.
And yes, you've said that before.
Yeah, I'm ordained. Exactly. Exactly, Dita. Learned many and created what is right for me. And yet, I don't fit the mold for my other Wiccan brothers and sisters. I am an eclectic solitary. Namaste, Cheryl. Yes, dear, I see you too.
I see you. I see you.
No, it's more in that same vein as Avatar. I see you.
Now,
Now, you want science. Okay. Remember. Okay? Star Wars.
well, of course.
Okay. And at any given point, let's take it at the idea of the ending of episode 3, where Yoda is telling Obi-Wan that Qui-Gon will be in contact with him. He's reached a level of etheric and coming back as a spirit. The Force is letting him come back to a spirit. A ghost, if you will, but an intelligent haunting. If you see what we do that way, kind of kicks into place.
Okay, Toby, which one of you is a fake? Stimpy.
Oh, good Lord. He's gotten kicked out or something, and we have a new... He's got a new icon.
Well, the Stimpy one, I remember that one, seems like from before. Maybe? Or is my brain going on vacation?
I don't know. Switch to another computer. Different, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Tank spelling. You can't get away from those rented fingers, can you, Toby?
If he quit eating that pile of mold, he might be able to tie it.
Oh. And we're just sitting around the campfire. Join the campfire. Whales? What? Oh, anyway. How far have we strayed from our topic tonight?
Only about 20 miles, but...
that's why I was kind of wondering.
But it was interesting. It was interesting.
And Mr. Tobias, he says he's calling, or says he's going to be calling. And there he is.
Oh, hey, gentlemen.
Bite your tongue.
I could have called you sir.
Oh, I really would have slapped you for that. Gentlemen. Seriously. I still work for a living. Maybe a gentle person, okay, but gentlemen. Ugh.
Right. Hey, let me throw this kink to you, okay?
Oh, he's going to get kinky.
Okay, this is coming from the standpoint of a psychic medium, so you got to bear with me here, okay? From what I understand, okay, you have 7 basic levels with several subdivisions.
No,
now,
only 7 subdivisions.
Per level, yes. Per level. So 7 times 7 is what, 49?
Roger that.
Okay. So you got 49 levels.
Yeah, I know. Where do they get the 31 worlds from? Yeah.
Right. What's the easiest way that I could explain this to Roger so that way he kind of has a really good idea? It's like, okay, Roger, it's like taking a triangle and pieing it right out.
Okay, so you lost me right there because I'm not into the pie and triangles and all that stuff.
Okay, say you got an apple pie in front of you. Okay, you slice it up for everybody to have a slice, correct?
No, I couldn't because you ate it.
and you're going to
1,000 comedians.
Yeah, you're good. What it is after you cut it, you got different levels. You've got different pieces of the pie, which creates the one individual.
Pie.
Now, yeah, that's why you got pie.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I got
pie, not pie. Yeah.
Hold on. I got to mute my.
Hank, get your breath. Get yourself together there.
Now, from my personal accounts,
oh Lord,
is each stage, I'm having a hard time trying it. Is it a la mode?
Reset your eye teeth.
It's like, from everybody I've talked to, and this is not human speaking, okay? This is spirit talking to human. The adage, of course, the first step is the removing of. So that's the basis. What you're doing is you're cleansing your identity. Then you got your meet and greet, which is basically reestablishing your identity. Then you got what some will call as a repent stage. Then you get established a work stage. Now, the proper names for all these it's beyond me, because Hank would probably agree they're called different titles in different beliefs.
A la mode.
Okay, just to summarize, okay?
Yes.
Just to add to what you're telling, all right? And I was trying to find a way of bringing this into the discussion. There are different ideals out here, all right? Like I made mention before, the Rosicrucian. Then you have the Thelema, which basically also has a blend of mysticism. Hermeticism. These are names I've got to look up because I'm just seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 names. And out of those 10 names, I recognize the Rosicrucian. I recognize the Hinduism, the Buddhism, and the Kabbalah.
And I still insinuate that they all wrote this stuff in a book does not make it so.
I hear you. But out of 5,000 years of bondage, you should be able to... Okay. I mean, the Kabbalah... Judaism... Kabbalah is Judaism. So they've got a lot of experience with it. Okay? And I dare say... considerably more than what the Rosicrucians have. But then now, what is there is when you look at the philosophies and ideals of Buddhism and Hinduism, and even, well, actually, I do recognize Sufism. Or Sufism.
Sufism?
Hey, I corrected it. I said
Campbell's
Sufism.
or Lytton or...
I said Sufi.
Progresso or...
Not Sufi. Okay?
It sounds like you were saying Sufism.
No. That's beginning to sound like another program that has fun. Not pronounced.
I was wondering if it was the chunky, the beef stew, or or chicken noodle, or.
Are you done?
Yeah. Yes, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. There is what they call a Sufi cosmology. Now, when you look at cosmology, all right, the Celts have a cosmology. The Norse has a cosmology. And the best way I can explain cosmology is how their ideas of a view of a universe creation, a universal creation. If that helps explain that, okay? Okay, as in Sufi sales. No, not Sufi sales.
Sufi sales?
Hey, I don't want to hear it. He's my hero. I grew up with him.
He was a character, wasn't he?
Yeah, I got a bloopers reel for him too. Oh, good Lord, yes. I saw what was behind the door before he got hit with a pie. Moving right along.
If you really want to I guess, as to the listeners that don't understand it, you have to go back to the founding of all basis of all religions. Now,
Now, I got to interrupt right there. The founding of all religions.
Careful.
Was
Careful.
there one that broke off into many others? Is that what you're
Okay.
getting at?
Okay, here's oh, by all I hold holy. Wow, are we going to get into something here? Okay. In the beginning, when we were wandering through, we developed a sense of a higher power. Notice I didn't say God, religion. We developed a sense of a higher power as we evolved. Okay? A lot of it, as I explained to people, paganism.
Holding that thought, we are live
Oh,
on
yes.
WCJV Digital Broadcasting out of Youngstown, New York. We're going to take a little short break, which I'm sure someone is going to tell us how long that'll be.
At any given second now.
Maybe not. Okay, 2 minutes.
You've got to be kidding.
2 minutes and we'll be back.
You are listening to WCJV Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, New York.
Hello, we're back, everybody. Same old good, fun, interesting things. And I still have not got my proof of all these planes of existence yet. But we're stabbing at it, so we will continue to bring you this lovely information. Hank has had to run and get something. He'll be right back. Toby, I assume, is still here.
He's never here.
No, I'm.
He's never here. Well, now, see, you
Wait.
had to go and say that.
No, wait 1 second.
Hey, your partner said it now.
He's not here.
I'm
He's
not here.
In
No,
my
He's
house.
not here. No,
I'm
not your house.
My house.
I'm not there. I'm here.
Yeah, see? I'm
He
not all
ran
there
to
either.
He ran to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm not all there either. Yeah, what the heck?
Well, I've never been all here, but that's beside the point.
Now, back to Rubber Ducky. You're the one that had so much fun. Anyway. Yes, I did. I ran to the bathroom. Literally.
Rough.
Okay, I got that.
So-
I got that taken care of.
Now,
Squeak.
another
Now-
way that we could explain this, Hank, and this is coming from a medium,
Come from the other side, yeah.
yeah, you would have to this would probably be the easiest way to explain this to Roger
Or Dita.
or Dita. Dita,
I can't stop laughing. And she's not. And she's got the rented lips and fingers.
I know. Hank will tell you every investigation we do, him and I are always the last ones to leave. Now, you're asking yourself, why is it that you two are the last two to leave? I'm collecting myself, not just from going back in time, but also collecting from going on the different planes and i.e., et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, collecting bits of my memory, bits of my thoughts, bits of this, bits and that. It's really a unique experience. Is it draining? Oh yeah, I get home, I'm out like a light. Am I right, Hank? I mean, how long have we sat after investigations?
The last one we were on, and we had Kat with us, Kathleen. We were there, another half hour.
Yeah.
We were there another half hour.
And I basically had to instruct her on what to do, how to do it. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. The average investigator, being skeptic, being a sensitive, being a empath, you kind of go to a certain realm within the planes, but not like the psychic medium does, because the psychic medium only could go so far, and then it's like a roadblock. You're stuck in the water. You're treading to try to get to that extra level, but the extra level is basically it's a deniable level. Until we cross over, then that level becomes accessible.
A long time ago, there was a book, and I thought it was rather interesting. It was a paperback book, and my first wife was, "Oh my God, you cannot read that in my house. You cannot read that because," and the title was extremely misleading. It was a paperback, not a bad one. It was titled,
There.
It was entitled The Encyclopedia of Ancient and Forbidden Knowledge. Now, the misleading part of that is the forbidden knowledge. And it suffices to say that forbidden knowledge was no more forbidden than what I learned in my Wicca, which is a lot less intimidating in some of the rituals that I performed when I was learning my Kabbalah. But it basically was a philosophy of how these different levels worked. Now, again, I hear what Roger is saying. One person does not have all the answers. But I submit a collective of individuals explaining the same subject with levels of Dane Fortune's sane occultism.
It's hard to concentrate on what you're saying when I'm looking at Toby's rubber ducky with a Band-Aid on its bill.
Oh, Gravedigger's here, I see. I missed him.
Okay, that's my son-in-law. Another son-in-law.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. He's got that basic interactive name of his, and Wow, does that catch my attention? Now,
right, being paranormal
what part
investigator.
did you not hear? What part did you miss?
Okay. When I read that, I started going into mental hysterics, sir. But yeah, go back about halfway where you was because I didn't get a lot of that. And plus, I was being private chatted by Gravedigger, so I kind of was lost there for a minute.
Yeah, yeah. You're like Hank, never grew up. I grow old, but I refuse to grow up. But anyway, all right. Let me go right back to where I was. The book that I was talking about, the Complete Encyclopedia of Ancient and Forbidden Knowledge. The only thing that was really forbidden was the same stuff that I learned in my Wicca. Okay? It's just not common knowledge, and it didn't go along with mainstream, okay? And let your understandings go with that. Mainstream philosophy. Okay? Now, I'm going back to the same thing that I was saying. I hear what you're saying, Roger. That's one book. One book does not give enough information, but a collective, okay? I'm trying to type something out here. But a collective on the same subject gives a little more credence. No, not Creedence Clearwater Revival. Before somebody jumps on that.
Why not?
Because that's not the subject. But it gives a little more credence to the idea. Another foreign country heard from. So, does that make a little more sense? You ducky.
You know, I honestly, I would have to say until you actually have somebody that can take that step into those different levels, they could actually explain it a lot better because you get to witness it. You're asking questions. You know, what's going on? What are you experiencing? As vice versa, trying to explain it on the radio because the individual learns better by seeing than listening or reading. It's part of the brain. So
well, that and the fact you learn more by doing. Okay. I can't. Wow, is that really where we are? Jeez. Okay.
I will agree with you. To really for Roger to understand it, that's the best way that it could really happen. Honestly, you can read and read and read, and it will still be like studying a foreign language and not really using it. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong on it, but it's the truth.
That's exactly right.
So,
okay,
Roger, that's the best way I could describe it to you is really and truly search out a psychic medium, work with them, and watch what they go through because they're going through each stage. Drill them, ask them, hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? For a psychic medium, a lot of them, they just go in to an investigation and then they just leave. Well, you're leaving a lot behind. I'm probably one of the most thorough when I go on investigations. I walk in. Before I even go into the investigation, Hank will tell you. Hank's like, okay, everybody gather around for the prayer. And I'm like, well, I've already said my prayer. No, Toby, get in here. Okay, added protection for me. Leaving, we do the closing. But yet, everybody else is gone. And I'm still there collecting because why? They've taken bits and pieces from me and I could feel it leaving. And I want it back. I don't want to leave incomplete.
It's like when I do a tarot reading and I'm really tuning in to somebody and I am literally psychically, clairvoyantly seeing the answers, and yet my description falls short of what I'm trying to explain. You can't see it, but I'm doing the best that I can to explain it, which is why, like when Toby is doing a reading and he's trying to interpret the information that he's getting, that's where the understandings aren't coming clear.
Okay.
If that helps any.
It should help, Roger. Is it helping you a little bit, Roger?
Well, I mean, we can go through this till the cows come home, and still, until I touch it, see it, smell it, feel it, live it, I just have somebody's words wrote in a book.
Right. Oh, no. And you're right. And I got to agree with Roger on that.
I myself am not disputing him.
Neither am I.
Trying to help him. I'm trying to help him.
I understand that you're trying to explain it, but like I said, I'm one of these people that has to live it to believe it. Okay? If I don't see it, smell it, feel it, touch it, live it, in my mind, I can't verify that it is. Okay?
Then get out there and live it.
I know, bro. It's easier said than done. I know.
You know, yeah, Hank, it's like a reading. Some do it by symbols. They have not accomplished that next stage, that next level. Some do it vocally. Others, they do it by body language. That's the best way I could describe it. There's a level right there, or 3 levels right there. 1, 2, 3.
Hold on a second.
I found a ball. No, but I found a ball.
That's the best way I could describe it to you is when you go over on to the other side, you have your first initials and then you have progression. It's no difference as being a child from a crib to crawling, from crawling to walking, from walking to running. To understand it, you got to get involved. You got to be deep into it. I mean, I'm still understanding some of the arenas, some of the areas of it that I don't know at all.
And for all the years that I have been studying what I study, I don't know at all. I still continue studying. And I find new ways of doing things. It comes under the heading. Now, I am a big fan of Freya Aswin, who is another one of my authors of runes. Her philosophy, and the same as Starhawk in her books. He who tries wins.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I got a tickle in my throat.
you can't get any. For the person that doesn't understand it, that's the easiest way that could be explained. It if you understand it, then hey, you're not being closed-minded to it. It's just the understanding it is hard. It's not the world's easiest thing. It's not the world's most simplest thing to go through and read and understand. It's a very complex ordeal. It's like trying to climb one of the pyramids in Egypt. You're not going to do it in one sitting without doing test runs, without being physically fit. Finding somebody that would be able to explain it to you where you don't know, that's the best way to do it. I mean, that's the best way I could explain it.
Okay, what happened? Everybody got quiet. Am I no longer here? Something happened? Hello?
I coughed and I didn't. I thought I reached up and clicked on bringing my mic back, and I'm over here talking, and it's like, what on God's green earth?
Data says she heard me only. Toby said he's slurping.
I heard Toby the whole time, and like I said, I thought I was talking, and I've got a tickle in my throat, and I've really been getting over something, and it's taken, as far as I'm concerned, too bloody long.
Not to be rude, but I'm going to leave this with you guys and try to see if you can make sense of this. If a self-proclaimed psychic medium says the adage of, I hear them right away. Yes, you do. However, are they really listening and paying attention to what's going on around them with all the levels that are out there? Or are they just being shut to one level? Go ahead.
And quit calling me Goathead.
All I can do is just shake my head at that.
Click on the link, then find the icon for this show. Yes. Yes.
Roger, who you talking to?
Billy, he's trying to figure out where to go vote at.
Oh, I heard quit calling me Goathead. And it's like, what?
Oh, Toby said go ahead. I said quit calling me Goathead.
Yeah, and Shirley, you jest, and yes, quit calling me Shirley. Yeah.
Right.
Now, one more time, Toby, if you would be so kind. I think something got lost in the translation.
Okay. You take two psychic mediums. Okay. You know me, and basically my ability is if it's symbols, it takes a little time for it to come out.
Yes.
While others, it's just like a conversation like you and I are holding right now. It's no difference. It's just the person that's physically next to you, if sees you talking to them, they're going, "What's going on?" They're on a different level. They're on a different plane than the person that's given symbols. So would that make the psychic medium that's only looking at symbols and reading symbols only, that they're not accepting the next levels?
With my work, and you're not the only psychic medium that I've worked with, okay? What you're describing is a learning level. It's not that you're on It's not that one is on a different level or a different stage. It's a level of learning. So we're not talking about a level of planes. We're talking about a level of understanding. Okay, take me as an example. All right?
You're understanding that plane, though.
That's the thing of it. I am when you and I are on an investigation, I am seeing more than I would ordinarily. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But yet I am not hearing. I'm not, as much as I'm working on it, I'm not trained to hear. But yet at the same time, do I need to?
And that's a question you need to ask yourself. Nobody can answer that.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Do I need to? This is something that I have to work out on and for myself. Just as I have come to understand, well, let me say not understand so much, but appreciate the different planes of existence. I.e. experiences on those. Doesn't make me any different than anyone else that's been there, that's experienced them. If that makes any sense. Just as not everyone is a psychic at some level. Hold on a second. Everyone is a psychic at some level. But how much they practice at their psychic ability sets them apart from, I enjoy using the term, muggles. Non-magic, non-psychic individuals. Okay? Does that help anybody? And at this time I checked, my mic is not muted. So, somebody hear me? Am I out there? Hello? No. I'm out there all right. Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. It's just... you can't put it any other way. You just can't, other than it's understanding, researching, knowing, and then again researching, because I was hoping, the reason why I asked the questions that I did earlier when I was filling out all the paperwork is because I was hoping you guys would just highlight the basics. And then...
I started to.
Yeah, then go into the subdivisions, because the subdivisions are a total... they're mind-blowing. That's the only way I could describe it for people that don't understand it. It's mind-blowing to a point to where a person telling you it, it's like, what are you trying to tell me? You're trying to tell me the sky is black, it's not blue.
Another way of looking at this, okay? Now, you did very good with the pie, but I'm going to take it a couple steps further, okay? You look either at a layered cake or you look at a tiramisu, okay? Or even better, Garfield's favorite, lasagna.
I hate lasagna.
Oh, good Lord. You have no sense of adventure.
I'm sorry.
But
I
the
just hate lasagna.
The point that... we'll stick with the tiramisu then, okay? We have these layers, okay? You have the whole... I don't know, is it classified as a cake or a pastry? Anyway, since I'm not getting an answer on that.
A cake is a pastry.
Oh, all right. Then then for lack of understanding, we'll call the tiramisu a pan of tiramisu a cake. Okay, and I think someone just answered. Okay. No. Yeah, I want some. Oh, go away. Okay, we'll look at the tiramisu. It is
Great
layers.
Lasagna is nasty.
It's good food. Now go away. You've got these different layers, and they're layers of flavor, layers of texture. And when you cut it open and you see, or cut off a slice, cut off a piece, and you see those individual layers, that's like seeing the planes of existence. Now, depending on your...
Well, now, having said that, I could take up a casserole dish of lasagna, and I could cut that, and I could see it, feel it, touch it, smell it, taste it. I can't cut a plane of existence and see it, feel it, taste it, smell it.
Because to cut it, you have to go into it. And by the way.
Okay, hold that thought. We are live on WCJV Digital Broadcasting out of Youngstown, New York.
It's no difference as, okay, I'm really going to rock the boat with this. It's no difference as somebody trying to really convince me about UFOs.
Okay.
I see them. I don't understand them. I don't know what they are. You could sit there until you're blue in the face and tell me they're extraterrestrials from another planet.
But you can see them.
But you can't touch them.
But you can see them. I can't see those realms of existence, those planes.
You do every night.
Yeah.
When you sleep. Your
what?
dreams are not just psychobabble regurgitating the activities of the day.
What is an apparition? Do you believe? If you believe in an apparition, then you believe in the levels.
Red dress.
That's a level.
That's one level you have seen. That is one level that you have experienced.
When you go out on investigation, do you not smell things? Do you not feel something?
But I don't smell spirits.
You're getting an odor that's not fitting of that territory. That's a level.
When my wife, Katie, comes to visit me, or when she did, I'm not baking. I'm not eating any snickerdoodles. But when she comes to me, that's all I smell. I had, we were at Spanaway Lake Park, and I had this unidentified aroma. And then my EVP, and I'm hearing it. And it's like I made mention that I smelled it, and then I hear this, ha 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 ha. It's a woman's laugh. Okay? So what happens? You've experienced two different levels of experience. Just before Katie's dad died, or not, doggone it, just before Diane's dad died. Now, I wear Old Spice. And if I'm not wearing Old Spice, sometimes I'm wearing Gravity. But at this particular time, I was wearing nothing. Yes, I was wearing clothes before somebody gets into that realm. All right, quit it, Gravedigger. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. You're agreeing that the energy has levels. All right, never mind. I kept getting this aroma of Old Spice cologne, and I asked Diane about who wears Old Spice. That's how I found out her dad was crossing over. Or rather, that's how I explained to her her dad was crossing over. He was coming to visit us to let us know that that was his message. When you were at, I want to say Fayetteville Hospital, the hospital you were just at for your investigation a few weeks back.
That was Lincoln County.
Oh, Lincoln County. All right. I don't know why I had Fayetteville stuck in my head.
Well, it is Fayetteville.
Yeah, it is in Fayetteville.
Oh, okay, but Lincoln County, Lincoln Hospital. Anyway. I heard you making mention of different things you were experiencing there. Huh. Billy can't vote. So these are things you are experiencing. It's like taking a road trip outside of your county. You know full well there is there are other locations outside of your county. But it's getting comfortable enough to go not only past your county, but into the next state. You know it's there. But it's getting comfortable with that understanding and trusting your ability to get there.
Okay, now having said that,
yes,
what's to tell me that what I was experiencing, feeling was not on the same level, just in a different form, which it was.
If it's not on your physical form, then you have experienced another level.
Okay, so we can say, yeah, spirits are on the next level. Still does not tell me that there's 550 more of them.
You are comfortable with one way of experience. Now it is a foundation for you to explore further.
I really want to kind of interject on this, but it's kind of hard to do that because I'm trying to figure out my words I want to use here. Okay, here we go. You're out on an investigation. Let's take a ghost hunter. Okay. We're at all I'm after is the Grand Poobah. I don't care about anything else, just the Grand Poobah. Yet, you hear them state, the hair on my arms are standing up on end. I'm getting a chill. It feels like something touched the back of my neck. You're experiencing different levels of that realm. It's not saying that they're at that you're at that level. It's just you're experiencing what their ability at a certain given level to the spirit can do. An odor. is a basic, simple start for all spiritual entities, in my opinion, because an odor is easy to produce. It does not take that much energy like an aspiration does. It takes tremendous amounts of energy. But to put out an odor is so much easier for them.
Just like giving a voice on an EVP. It's easier than a full apparition.
Yes, it doesn't. It's easier. It's easier to talk than it is to walk. You're expending more energy to walk than you are talking. That's the best way I can describe it. You're on a different level than a talk level. Now you're at the walking level. Now it goes back to the adage of you were born, you crawled, you walked, you ran.
And now you drive.
Exactly. Those are different levels throughout life that have been accomplished. It's no difference as the other side. You go over to the other side, you have to accomplish certain levels to move on to the next level. Or another way to describe it, yay, I'm going to first grade. All right, you're going to learn a little bit more. You're out of the yellow books of I See Spot Run. Look at the cat hop. Now we're going into the bigger books. Now you got homework. You're at a different level. Okay, it's an understanding of the level that you're going to progress to. It's no difference as a spirit side of the realm. They have to relearn everything because now you're in a different mode of transportation.
It goes back. You've experienced the paranormal. That's one level. Okay? Another level is when you're sleeping, your conscious and subconscious has gone on to the astral plane. What the next step, okay, is to do it consciously. I heard all about what to do. I learned all about what to do. But there is the everlasting fear. Well, that everlasting is not exactly the right word, but there's the ever-present, there we go, ever-present fear that you're doing something you're not normally doing. When you have the confidence and understanding of how you are going to proceed on those other levels, is like we said, you're crawling, you're walking, you're running. Your first grade, your kindergarten, first grade, second grade, until finally you graduate from high school. What you do from there, the world is your oyster. It's your pearl. It's how you do it.
Does that make sense to you, Roger? It's an easy way to explain it without seeing it written out or reading a book.
And again, he has to experience it.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. I mean, you can explain it till the cows come home. And not saying that you're not right. I'm just saying for me, if I don't experience it, I have only your word on that.
So that would...
I'm not knocking what you're saying. I'm just saying for me, until I experience it myself, that's just your word or somebody's book. So, again, I keep wanting to emphasize, I am one of these people that I drove through Missouri. Show me. And
it's not that you don't believe or do believe us. It's you haven't experienced it.
Thank you. That's my point. Not like I said, nothing that I'm saying is me to step on any toes here. I'm just saying for me, I have to experience it to understand it and believe it.
Then get out there and do it.
Well, and if I ever do, I'll be the first one to come on here and say, okay, you were right.
The biggest thing is overcoming the fear. The fear of reaching out into the unknown. The fear of, am I going to get back to my body with these experiences? Well, I can tell you right now, yes, you will. You do it every night.
And if I do that, I still don't know where I go and what I do. So until I realize where I go and what I do, I'm still on the same boat for China.
Well, if it's any consolation, are you kidding me? I don't always know where I'm going either.
But the point is, I don't know that I'm doing it, so therefore I'm not experiencing it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so you never had, on an investigation, you never had your hairs stand up or feel like they're standing up?
No, not saying that.
You never experienced a cold sensation, a cold feeling, a
yes,
cold spot?
Yes.
You experienced it.
Well, one level.
As I said, yes, I can believe that there's a separate place where spirits dwell when they're not communicating here. But all the other ones, until I see it for myself, I can't put any validation to it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing of it. We've drifted away from explaining what the different levels, the different planes are, to a discussion on how to experience it. Until you do. Oh, Dita's gone and I didn't even realize it. I'm sorry.
She drifted out. She was having problems.
Well, the weather out there has been ridiculous. But anyway, until you do.
Kiss St. Louis bye-bye. What does that mean?
Ferguson.
Oh. What does that mean?
Until you see now, because the policeman was not indicted.
Right. So what does that mean? Kiss St. Louis bye-bye. What are they going to do? Blow it off the face of the earth now?
No. Let's just put it this way.
Up with experiences. The riots.
Yeah.
I mean, Detroit never really came back from the riots back in '68.
Nope. They're still struggling.
Okay, anyway, back to the topic at hand.
I mean, I wish you lived closer. I would be able, Toby and I would be able, not just me, Toby and I would be able to help you through that. But then again, there is the information out there, and exploring it on your own. Okay? There was one investigation that we were on, and Toby and I, went back in our astral bodies. Toby and I saw each other. Or was it that I saw you, but you didn't see me?
Yeah, you saw me, but I didn't see you.
I was in my dragon form. It's getting used to getting out and exploring. If the world explorers never went out of their ports, great discoveries would never be made. This is my encouragement of you to explore. Not telling you what to do. My encouragement.
Do you know if Christopher Columbus didn't do what he did, the world would still be flat.
No, not true. Not true. China came over and found and discovered California. Leif Erikson and other Vikings came and found North America. The Egyptians have, some of the Egyptian mummies have cocaine in their system.
My analogy that I was trying to use it in.
Okay.
Okay. You got to remember. I know that others have explored the world and have found that it's not flat. However, there was a gracious period of time and stubbornness that society as a whole believed that the world is flat. Now, who started that? I don't know. I could really care less. How many people bid Christopher Columbus a farewell and were giving him items to carry on to the next life from Spain, from England, from France?
No, not England.
He got a little bit.
No,
he got funded. There was funding from England.
I thought it was all little Queen Isabella there. Okay.
It was, but
okay.
You got to remember, England had influences on a lot of items back then. It's no difference as the USA today. I mean, honestly, we have influence everywhere, but sometimes it's used wrong. But we would still today believe that the world would be flat until otherwise proving that it is round. It's no difference as if I was to say, the world is flat. Well, then what is a globe? It's round. It's a different aspect. It's a different realm. You're not going to make me believe it. I'm showing it to you. I can't believe it.
I don't believe she said that. Oh.
The world isn't flat?
And the moon's made of green cheese.
Green eggs and ham.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm just giving a comparison. It's not my word. I mean, there's I'm open to anything, as I don't need proof. Well, yes, I need proof that we landed on the moon, but that's besides the point. That's a given, you know, because that's still controversy to this day. Did we really land on the moon? I don't know.
I know it's been 25, 28 years since we've gone back, but that's beside the point.
Well, okay, hang on. Well, we've been, as far as I can remember, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15 different successful missions to the moon. However, only one was made mention of, and that was in 1969. I was born after that, so I really can't say I witnessed it. I know it. You can't prove it to me.
Thanks, brother. That makes me feel old.
Hey, I was born in 1969. But you see what I'm saying? It's no difference.
Yes.
But I am open-minded to the different other missions that we've done to the moon. To the point. Go ahead.
I was going to say, as Roger. Oh, Dita's back! Yay!
Welcome home, Dita.
As Roger's so fond of referring to me as Santa Claus, I am 58 years old, and I believe in Santa Claus. Now, before you start laughing all yourselves out of your chairs and hitting the floors, Let me explain it this way. When you look at the giving spirit that Santa represents, when you look at the goodwill and charity, it is a spirit, a giving spirit. In that light,
yes,
I believe in
that.
Santa.
That makes sense. Okay, that's something you can grasp. It doesn't have to be a physical spirit. It doesn't have to be a spirit as we look at when we go hunting for ghosts. It is a spirit that dwells within people. That is a giving spirit. That is a helpful, kind, do unto others type thing. Am I not somewhere close in the vicinity of what you're saying?
No, you're saying it. You're saying it, and you're seeing it.
Yeah. On that note, gentlemen, I got to bid you two farewell. Thank you for having me on tonight. I appreciate it.
As always, bro. As always.
I'm going to step out, and I got to run the dogs out and everything else, but I just thought I'd throw my 2 cents in tonight from a more personal level and experience. So, Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen, aloha, shalom, sayonara, ciao.
Farewell, adieu, and a lot of other words I don't understand. Tried to put the trash out tonight.
So long,
chase it down the street.
Auf Wiedersehen, adieu. Oh. Someone sent me a joke about the Hills died. Dr. Frankenstein tried to revive them. Igor comes in because the music's playing. Master, the Hills are alive to the sound of music.
Okay.
Groan. Droll. Yes, proper context. Ciao bello. Beautiful man. Yes. I love it when people can understand that concept. And yet it's kind of interesting. Some languages do have a masculine or... And then Big Bird goes and does that. Et bella. Anyway. It's an interesting concept, you know, when you're talking in different languages. And they do have a feminine... I found out, even the Lakota language has a masculine and feminine. But anyway, fair winds fill thy sails, and off into the sunset and fall off the edge of the world. Okay.
You mean it isn't flat?
That was a little on the mean side. Fall off the edge of the world. You mean the world isn't flat?
No, just my mind at the moment. But anyway. So, we've got about 3 minutes to wrap things up. And you know, Roger, you're right. We could do many shows. Go over this many times because we barely scratched one level of the of the planes. Toby says 8 months worth. I would like to try to wrap it up in 7 weeks, but that'll depend. And we didn't even touch the fact that I've got an Agent self-propelled howitzer and a 203, and yes, I'm calling it orbs.
Okay, see, there we go. Orbs.
We didn't even get into that. Orbs. Anyway.
Okay. That gives me the good example I was looking for. Remember my philosophy on orbs.
Yes. Until
Well-
one smacked better orc. Yes, yes. Orcs. We need orcs. Yeah.
Until one comes up and says, "Hey, Raj, I'm an orb entity."
Now, hold on. You did have that happen.
No, it didn't come up in my face and tell me it was an orb entity.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
You told me it came up. You had evidence of it, and it was right there in your face. Of course, it's not going to talk to you. You're not listening.
Okay, no, it did not come up in my face. I saw a video of one coming off of a boy's shirt and going up in front of a camera. Now, it could have been a dust flake come off his shirt, went up in front of a camera. I have no proof of that. I just said it looked interesting. The other one at the cemetery was a round shape with some light to it that I can't say it was an orb entity or it was something else, but there was no fog, mist, etc., etc. But that still doesn't tell me that it was an entity. But anyway, getting to the point is, I have no more proof of all these planes of existence than I have that those orbs are entities.
Let's say goodnight, Gracie.
Folks, come back next week. We shall have some interesting things to discuss and talk about, and Hank, I need to talk to you about that too.
If nothing else, it will be absolutely thought-provoking.
I have an interesting thing going on, and I will inform you more about it when we can chat later, but
all right.
I'm sure you will enjoy it.
All right.
Oh, you will, trust me.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that until we can chat later. Come back next week, folks. We enjoyed it fairly well and all that. And if you can't be normal,
be paranormal.
Good night.
You are listening to WCJV Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, New York.